feels like to carry pain and suffering and loss that makes us feel that we're alone, that we're isolated because of our experiences. And yet that's the very thing that makes us deeply human. And so I became curious about what it would be like to move toward connection and toward community as I held that pain. And what I found is in my own hometown of Austin, Texas, there were people like you who were willing to be with me and walk with me with compassion. I wasn't treated as inferior or broken. I had people hold a vision of wholeness for me until I could remember that inherent wholeness for myself. One of the other lessons that I learned is that I had to completely redefine my vision of love. I had learned to see love as something that called me to always sacrifice myself, to nurture and take care of others no matter what the cost, even if it meant sacrificing myself on the altar of someone else's suffering, even if it meant that I enabled them to continue in harmful or destructive behaviors and always be there for them no matter what they might choose. And what recovery showed me is that I was called to a way of seeing love that is wise and honest, a kind of love that is limitless but also sets limits against what is not love. A love that is capable of saying yes to receiving empathy and compassion, but also powerful enough to say no, to set boundaries against what would harm, what would destroy, and what would hurt. I was able over time with support to let go of a way of love that was deeply codependent and painful and step into a way of seeing love that was vast and wise, a kind of compassion that wasn't just for other people, a compassion that included me too. A kind of love that is ultimately for the highest good of everyone involved. In many ways, I stayed not just because of fear and shame. For a time, I stayed because of my ideas of love. Because my vision of love was incomplete. And through my recovery journey, I found that another path was possible for me. I believe that the work of Bright Future Foundation and the creation and opening of the BrightHouse is a way of making this kind of wise love visible in your community. It communicates not only a deep sense of compassion and commitment to creating safety, healing, and freedom for those who need it most, it also communicates that you're willing to face the truth and take a stand against a distorted idea of love that demands sacrifice and harm and destruction and silence. You are a community that is choosing to bravely face the truth, to no longer look away from the violence that happens in this beautiful place. And by doing so, you are taking a stand for those who are most vulnerable. You are making sure that this community holds a vision of love that is wise and vast and deep, so that anyone who lives here or passes through this community will know that there is always a safe place to come, and that part of loving well and loving fiercely is saying no to violence in every form. I wrote this piece envisioning the survivors who will come here with their children. I was thinking about the words I needed to hear when I started my recovery journey, and I was picturing them entering through this door and what I would say to them if I could speak to each one of them. This is called Welcome to the BrightHouse. Here is the haven where life is made luminous again. You are not the pain you now carry. You are the light no darkness could extinguish. Take my hand, radiant one, and I will help you remember how fiercely worthy you have always been. Let's walk together to the river where you can wash away all the false names written on your body. There is only one name that matters. Beloved, beloved, beloved. Earth angel, you are wild and winged. Remember? Your soul is the treasure you buried so you could keep it safe. Remember? When you are ready, you will bring every jewel home. You are not your trauma. You are not what you did to survive. You are not who you had to become to endure this harm. Recovery is remembering your radiance. Recovery is reconnecting with your untamed nature. There will come a day when you wake with joy again, when you will delight in the vast expanse of life, beginning with your own sacred skin. You will learn slowly, gently to love yourself fiercely. This is a tender art. It will require grace and practice. There will come a day when you see that when someone fails to value you, it does not make you less valuable. And the pain of walking away will be transformed into this truth. Nothing can separate you from love. Nothing can separate you from love. It is your origin and destination. Love is who you are. You don't have to wait any longer to be free. Child of the cosmos, child of the earth. Welcome to the BrightHouse, where life is made luminous. Let me help you remember, you have always been whole. Thank you.